Near the station after midnight, under signs of red and green, waited one old blue Pekin taxi with a crack across the screen. At the wheel sat Reza, listening to the traffic fade away. Every passenger brought a story they were far too tired to say. He never asked where they were going till they settled in the seat. Then the meter started turning with the rhythm of the street. In the blue taxi of Tehran, every window held a life, passing towers, empty markets, through the restless city night. In the blue taxi of Tehran, no two journeys were the same. People entered as a stranger, then disappeared without a name. First he carried home a nurse from a hospital near Van Eyck. She removed her shoes in silence and leaned softly toward the glass. Then a baker with white flour on his sleeves and in his hair held a box of morning pastries for the children waiting there. At each corner someone entered, at each crossing someone left, while the dashboard clock kept moving through the hours before dawn. In the blue taxi of Tehran, every window held a life, passing towers, empty markets, through the restless city night. In the blue taxi of Tehran, every road became a thread, joining strangers for a moment before pulling them ahead. Near the bridge he found a student with a suitcase and a map. He had missed the final bus home and had little money left. Reza turned the meter backwards, said, "The road is mine tonight." Then he drove beyond the city toward the hills and morning light. On the way they spoke of nothing, then of everything at once. Why the city makes men restless, why some journeys take too long. The student asked him, after decades, do these streets still feel like home? Reza watched the road before him, said, "Only when I'm not alone." Tower turned to silver, every shadow slowly passed. In the blue taxi of Tehran, when the longest night was done, one more stranger reached his doorway, and the driver faced the sun. Where the salt cliffs meet the sea, stood a rusted radio tower, turning slowly in the breeze. In a room above the harbor, filled with wires, dust and light, an old operator listened to the fishing boats each night. Every voice arrived in fragments through the static and the rain. Still he knew each boat by rhythm long before they spoke a name. From the radio tower of Keshem, through the darkness came his call. Keep the red light on your left side, do not cross the northern wall. From the radio tower of Keshem, while the restless waters climbed, he became a distant lantern made of frequency and time. Prices, weather nets and fuel. Sailors asked about the currents, children called from after school. Some would send a song from Bandar, some would laugh across the line, some just checked the old connection to be sure the voice was fine. He recorded every signal in a notebook worn and brown, boat by boat and name by name, before the sun was going down. From the radio tower of Keshem, through the darkness came his call. Keep the red light on your left side, do not cross the northern wall. From the radio tower of Keshem, while the restless waters climbed, he became a distant lantern made of frequency and time. Then one evening clouds came quickly, black as ink above the strait. Harbor ropes began to tremble, every warning came too late. Lightning struck the coastal cables, power failed from shore to shore. All the modern screens went silent, all the harbor lights were gone. But beneath the operator's table was a battery old and weak, barely strong enough for one light, barely strong enough to speak. He called first to boat 11 near the reef beyond the bay. Turn your boat toward Hengam Island, let the western current sway. Then he reached the Dow from Bandar, drifting south without a guide. Follow thunder toward the mainland, keep the black rocks on your right. One by one the voices answered, some were faint and some were clear. Each reply became a marker showing someone still could hear. Till a broken voice came through him like a wave against the floor. We can hear the tower faintly, but the compass will not turn. He replied, hold toward my signal, follow where the static burns. From the radio tower of Keshem, through the storm he held the line, sending voices through the sailors knew. When the morning crossed the harbor, every boat was tied below. Men stood silent on the seawall, watching pale reflections grow. No one cheered beneath the tower, no one raised his name in song. He just closed the weather notebook and marked every vessel home. On a summer night in Tehran, every window lost its glow. Traffic lights went dark on bazaars, fans and radios fell low. From an apartment near the railway came a man with silver hair, carrying an old projector up 6 flights of narrow stairs. He stretched a sheet between the chimneys, placed 2 speakers near the wall. Then a beam crossed through the darkness, and the neighbors heard his call. At the rooftop cinema of Tehran, under satellites and stars, silent actors crossed the white screen while the city waited dark. At the rooftop cinema of Tehran, strangers gathered side by side. For a while the crowded skyline had one story in its eyes. Children climbed from nearby buildings, carrying cushions, fruit and tea. Taxi drivers left their engines, shopkeepers brought wooden seats. Someone passed around pomegranates, someone laughed before the scene. Someone recognized an actress from a film they saw at 17. There were no names on the tickets, there were no reserved front rows. Every rooftop joined the picture as the evening breezes arose. At the rooftop cinema of Tehran, under satellites and stars, silent actors crossed the white screen while the city waited dark. At the rooftop cinema of Tehran, every face became a light. For a while the crowded skyline moved together through the night. The projector started shaking and the picture burned to white. The old man reached inside the casing with a matchstick for his light. A young mechanic from the next roof passed a wire across the space. Someone held the sheet from falling, someone turned the broken frame. When the moving picture returned, every rooftop gave a cheer, and the actors kept on dancing as if nothing disappeared. At the rooftop cinema of Tehran, no one asked who owned the night. Every balcony and chimney shared the same returning light. At the rooftop cinema of Tehran, when the city power came, no one hurried toward their houses till they watched the final frame. of 7 in the morning, farmers opened wooden gates. Rows of trees stood red and heavy after years of dust and weight. Children carried woven baskets, women spread the tables wide. Every courtyard smelled of saffron, every branch was tied with white. For 3 summers wells were empty, every season passed them by. Now the fruit hung like small lanterns underneath the autumn sky. On the pomegranate night of Saturday, let the drums begin to roll. Crimson seeds across the table, like 1,000 pieces of gold. On the pomegranate night of Saturday, raise the lanterns, pour the tea. What the earth refused for seasons, it returned abundantly. Merchants came from Qom and Tehran with their wagons painted blue. Cooks prepared the thickened sauces, bakers shaped the morning dough. Near the fountain stood musicians, tuning strings beneath the trees. When the first tombak was sounded, every doorway found the beat. Old men clapped beside the fire, young feet circled through the square. Even those who lost their harvest brought the little they could share. On the pomegranate night of Saturday, let the drums begin to roll. Crimson seeds across the table, like 1,000 pieces of gold. On the pomegranate night of Saturday, every family joined the feast. No one counted who brought plenty, no one noticed who brought least. Then a sudden wind came turning through the lanterns in the square. One by one the flames were taken, darkness settled everywhere. But the drummers kept on playing, and the dancers held their line. People raised the open fruit up till the seeds caught pale moonlight. Soon the square was red and silver, without candle, lamp or flame. And the celebration carried through the darkness just the same. On the pomegranate night of Saturday, hear the laughing voices rise. Every seed became a lantern, every bowl reflected light. On the pomegranate night of Saturday, after seasons dry and long, they did not just share the harvest, they became the harvest song. From the station north of Tehran, past the lamps and empty stalls, left a train before the snowfall covered roads and mountain walls. In the final wooden carriage, crates were tied with rope and wire, medicine for distant villages waiting higher than the pines. The conductor checked the windows, then he listened to the line. There were warnings from the mountains, but no room to lose more time. Ride night train through elbows where the frozen rivers sleep. Carry light beyond the tunnels, carry hope across the peaks. Ride night train through elbows, let the iron engine burn. There are doors beneath the snowfall waiting for the wheels to turn. In one carriage sat a teacher with a suitcase full of books. Near the stove, a tired farmer watched the frost along the roof. There were nurses from the city, there were workers heading home. There was one old mountain shepherd traveling the line alone. Though they carried different burdens, though they rarely spoke a word, every face turned toward the darkness when the warning whistle stirred. Ride night train through elbows where the frozen rivers sleep. Carry light beyond the tunnels, carry hope across the peaks. Ride night train through elbows, let the iron engine burn. There are doors beneath the snowfall waiting for the wheels to turn. Above Firuzku, snow had buried half the track. The engine slowed beside the mountain, there was no safe way ahead. Then the passengers took lanterns, shovels, blankets, rope and coal, walking forward through the weather. Where the winter wind had grown, the conductor led them onward, with the shepherd at his side. Every hand removed a little from the mountain's frozen tide. For 3 hours they cleared the railway, while the storm erased their feet. Nurses warmed the youngest travelers near the engine's fading heat. The teacher read beneath the lantern from a book of ancient tales, and the farmer fed the furnace till the fire turned bright again. When the final path was opened, no one raised a victory cry. They just climbed aboard in silence as the snow continued high. Ride night train through elbows, past the cliffs of stone and white. Every wheel becomes a heartbeat, moving steadily through night. Ride night train through elbows till the mountain shadows end. What began as separate journeys reach the dawn as something shared. When the train reached the last village, morning rested on the snow. Children waited by the platform, wrapped in coats against the cold. Crates were carried through the station, names were checked beside the door, and the passengers who cleared the railway never another more. Morning opened over Rasht with the clouds hanging low. Rain was running through the market, down the awnings in a row. Vendors covered fruit and spices, drivers waited by the square. Every doorway filled with people watching water flood the stairs. Then a young man crossed the alley with a drum beneath his coat, placed a wooden chair beside him and began a simple note. Hear the drummer in the Rasht rain, turning thunder into time. Every rooftop found a rhythm, every footstep found a line. Hear the drummer in the Rasht rain, while the crowded market swayed. What began as heavy weather became music for the day. A baker tapped the counter, then a tailor clapped along. Two young porters used their boxes like a drum beneath the song. Someone opened up a window, someone rang a bicycle bell. Soon the spoons inside the tea house joined the rhythm as they fell. No one planned a celebration, no one knew how long it'd last, but the rain became a chorus and the empty hours passed. Hear the drummer in the Rasht rain, turning thunder into time. Every rooftop found a rhythm, every footstep found a line. Hear the drummer in the Rasht rain, all the shutters open wide, even strangers move together, while the storm rolled through the sky. Stronger, and the young man lost his chair. His tombak rolled through the water, past the baskets in the square. 7 people ran to catch it, passing hand to hand in line. When they placed it back before him, he resumed without a sign. Now the whole bazaar was playing, pots and glasses, wood and steel, and the city found a heartbeat everyone could hear and feel. Hear the drummer in the Rasht rain, as the darkened clouds withdrew. Morning light crossed through the market, and the wet streets turned to blue. Hear the drummer in the Rasht rain, when the final rhythm slowed. He had changed an ordinary storm into a song the city owned. In a narrow street of Tabriz, past the copper maker's doors, there was dust upon the windows and old clocks along the walls. Some were brought from distant cities, some had crossed the mountain snow. Every hand had stopped at midnight many winters long ago. The clockmaker spoke softly as he opened every frame. Time may leave a house in silence, but it never leaves the same. In the clockmaker's room in Tabriz, every second had a sound. Tiny wheels began remembering how the hours turned around. In the clockmaker's room in Tabriz, while the restless city ran, he repaired the broken minutes no one else could understand. Then one evening all the city lost its lamps and neon signs. Every screen became a shadow, every tower lost the time. People gathered in the alley, holding candles in their hands, asking when the night had started, asking when the dawn would land. From the darkness of his workshop, one old pendulum still swayed, and its steady wooden heartbeat guided strangers through the shade. In the clockmaker's room in Tabriz, every second had a sound. Tiny wheels began remembering how the hours turned around. In the clockmaker's room in Tabriz, while the restless city ran, he repaired the broken minutes no one else could understand. There were bakers waiting early, there were drivers bound for home, there were nurses changing watches, there were children counting slow. For one night the whole of Tabriz listened closely to the room where 100 clocks were speaking through the candle smoke and gloom. No one asked about tomorrow, no one hurried through the door. They just stood beside each other as the old hands moved once more. When the city lights returned again, the screens began to glow. Every tower found its numbers, every street resumed its flow. But the people left their watches on the workbench one by one, not because the clocks were broken, but to hear how time was done. In the clockmaker's room in Tabriz, every second found its place, turning softly through the silence with no urgency or race. In the clockmaker's room in Tabriz, even years could be made kind. He could never stop the hour. chime. Down in Kashan, where the morning shadows lay, stood a row of copper vessels filled with colors deep as rain. By the doorway worked a dyer with blue stains upon his hands, turning wool and thread to rivers no machine could understand. He would measure without numbers, he would listen, wait and stir, saying color needs no hurry, only time to find its depth. At the indigo house of Kashan, every thread went down as white, then returned from dark in water, holding midnight, holding light. At the indigo house of Kashan, nothing bright was quickly made. Every shade became a memory, every color learned to stay. Factories beyond the city sold their colors cheap and fast. Carpets left the older workshops, ancient methods could not last. One by one the doors were closing, one by one the fires grew cold. Still the dyer kept his vessel, still he followed ways of old. Then a boy came from the market with a torn and faded coat. He said, "Teach me how the darkness turns to blue without a word." At the indigo house of Kashan, every thread went down as white, then returned from dark in water, holding midnight, holding light. At the indigo house of Kashan, nothing bright was quickly made. Every shade became a memory, every color learned to stay. How the leaves were crushed and dried, how the wool was washed at sunrise, how the vessels breathed at night. Then one winter came in silence, and the old man left his chair. On the table lay one notebook and his blue-stained apron there. The boy opened all the windows, lit the fire before the dawn. Then he lowered one white carpet as the master once had done. At the indigo house of Kashan, blue returned beneath his hands, not the same as his old teachers, but a shade he understood. At the indigo house of Kashan, one more fire refused to fade. Every color found tomorrow when the craft was passed away. In a tea house down in Shiraz, near the old bazaar arcade, men had gathered every evening where the wooden board was laid. By the window sat a master, 40 years without a fall. Every move was calm and measured, every silence hid a wall. Then a student came from Rasht, young and certain of his name. He had studied every champion and had never feared a game. At the last chess match in Shiraz, under lamps of amber flame, every square became a question, every move became a name. At the last chess match in Shiraz, youth attacked from every side, while the old man built his silence like a wall against the tide. First the young man took a bishop, then a rook beside the wall. People leaned across the table, certain that the king would fall. Still the master showed no worry, though his pieces disappeared. He just watched the center closely as the final hour drew near. There are victories that glitter, there are traps that look like gold, there are doors that open freely only once you step too close. At the last chess match in Shiraz, under lamps of amber flame, every square became a question, every move became a name. At the last chess match in Shiraz, youth had nowhere left to run. He had captured half the kingdom, but had never seen the one. One small pawn had changed the ending in the middle of the night. But before the final movement, the old master bowed his head, turned his king upon the chessboard and surrendered there instead. The young man asked him softly, "Why give up when you had won?" He replied, "A man who sees his error should not leave without the sun." At the last chess match in Shiraz, there was neither loss nor fame, just an old man leaving gently and a young man changed by shame. At the last chess match in Shiraz, under lamps of fading gold, he had come to claim a title, he departed less controlled. built streets of Yazd, where the wind towers touched the sky, stood an oven near the market with a blue door painted high. Every morning before sunrise, while the alleys still were cold, an old woman lit the fire just as she had done of old. She would listen to the embers, she would watch the shadows climb, saying bread could hold a family when it was divided right. At the last old oven of Yazd, fire breathed against the stone. Every loaf became a promise, no one had to eat alone. At the last old oven of Yazd, through the heat and desert air, she kept nothing for tomorrow that she could divide and share. Turned to dust, market shelves grew bare and silent, iron locks began to rust. Merchants counted every handful, families waited near the square, while the oven kept on burning, though the flour sack was bare. In the corner of the storeroom she found one remaining bowl, enough to make a single loaf, but not enough for all. At the last old oven of Yazd, fire breathed against the stone. Every loaf became a promise, no one had to eat alone. At the last old oven of Yazd, through the heat and desert air, she kept nothing for tomorrow that she could divide and share. Flour, added herbs and grains of salt. Then she called the waiting children from the courtyard and the vault. She made 40 little portions, thin as paper, warm and round. Every doorway received something before evening settled down. Some were small enough for one bite, some were broken into 3. Still the smell moved through the alleys like a kind of memory. Upon their shoulders, walking slowly side by side. One brought barley, one brought millet, one brought wheat from hidden stores. They had heard about the woman and the children at her door. No one asked for gold or payment, no one measured what they gave. They just filled the empty storeroom with the harvest they had saved. At the last old oven of Yazd, the fire rose against the stone. Every loaf became a lesson, nothing given disappears. At the last old oven of Yazd, when the hardest season came, she divided one small portion and the city did the same. near the old bazaar arcade. Men had gathered every evening where the wooden board was laid. By the window sat a master, 40 years without a fall. Every move was calm and measured, every silence hit a wall. Then a student came from Rasht, young and certain of his name. He had studied every champion and had never feared a game. At the last chess match in Shiraz, under lamps of amber flame, every square became a question, every move became a name. At the last chess match in Shiraz, youth attacked from every side, while the old man built his silence like a wall against the tide. First the young man took a bishop, then a rook beside the wall. People leaned across the table, certain that the king would fall. Still the master showed no worry, though his pieces disappeared. He just watched the center closely as the final hour drew near. There are victories that glitter, there are traps that look like gold, there are doors that open freely only once you step too close. At the last chess match in Shiraz, under lamps of amber flame, every square became a question, every move became a name. At the last chess match in Shiraz, youth had nowhere left to run. He had captured half the kingdom, but had never seen the one. Then the student saw the danger, every pathway closing tight. One small pawn had changed the ending in the middle of the night. But before the final movement, the old master bowed his head, turned his king upon the chessboard and surrendered there instead. The young man asked him softly, "Why give up when you had won?" He replied, "A man who sees his error should not leave without the sun." At the last chess match in Shiraz, there was neither loss nor fame, just an old man leaving gently, and a young man changed by shame. At the last chess match in Shiraz, under lamps of fading gold, he had come to claim a title. He departed less control. clay-built streets of Yazd, where the wind towers touch the sky, stood an oven near the market with a blue door painted high. Every morning before sunrise, while the alleys still were cold, an old woman lit the fire just as she had done of old. She would listen to the embers, she would watch the shadows climb, saying bread could hold a family when it was divided right. At the last old oven of Yazd, fire breathed against the stone. Every loaf became a promise, no one had to eat alone. At the last old oven of Yazd, through the heat and desert air, she kept nothing for tomorrow that she could divide and share. Then the wells began to empty, and the wheat fields turned to dust. Market shelves grew bare and silent, iron locks began to rust. Merchants counted every handful, families waited near the square, while the oven kept on burning, though the flour sack was bare. In the corner of the storeroom, she found one remaining bowl, enough to make a single loaf, but not enough for all. At the last old oven of Yazd, fire breathed against the stone. Every loaf became a promise, no one had to eat alone. At the last old oven of Yazd, through the heat and desert air, she kept nothing for tomorrow that she could divide and share. She mixed water with the flour, added herbs and grains of salt. Then she called the waiting children from the courtyard and the vault. She made 40 little portions, thin as paper, warm and round. Every doorway received something before evening settled down. Some were small enough for one bite, some were broken into 3. Still the smell moved through the alley they had saved. At the last old oven of Yazd, fire rose against the stone. Every loaf became a lesson. Nothing given disappears. At the last old oven of Yazd, when the hardest season came, she divided one small portion